So, Apple just announced 4 brand new iPhones. We have the iPhone 14, the iPhone 14 Plus, the iPhone 14 Pro, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Myself, I'll be going for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and here's why. Reason number one, it has to be due to that 48 megapixel camera. That's a massive improvement for any photographers or for anyone that likes to use their phone for creating content. Having a camera that's twice as good for both wide lens and also the main lens is a massive improvement. Not only is it just generally good, but also the improvements for low light. Myself personally, I've gotten into creating a lot of content for Instagram and also TikTok, and that leads me on to point number two. Point number two, it kind of goes over with point number one, again relating back to that camera. Number two is about the video capabilities. That cinematic mode will make it a lot easier for someone like myself that does a lot of content on their phone, much easier and much smoother to all get done. And with the inclusion of that A16 Bionic chip, it's going to be super easy just to get videos from the phone straight onto Instagram, TikTok, or maybe even YouTube. Reason number three is actually a controversial one. Some people don't like it, but me personally, I do. That bigger screen. Currently, I've got this iPhone. This is an iPhone 11. Again, I've had this for a few years now, so an upgrade is overdue regardless. But again, going back to that point, having a larger screen for when I'm creating content, editing videos on my phone, it's going to be a lot easier and a lot simpler just to get those videos done and then edit it on my phone. Reason number four as to why I'm going for the iPhone 14 Pro Max is the battery life. Personally, I'm always out and about doing something, so having that all-day battery life compared to this will be a massive improvement. This phone lasts me maybe 6 hours if I'm lucky. So having that sort of all-day battery charge, it's a no-brainer once again. So hopefully it can meet the expectations. Once I get the phone, I'll do a full review. We'll actually get to know how well that truly is and how much pushing it to the limits of editing videos on the phone, recording videos for a full day, we can actually see how that battery life actually will be affected. The final reason as to why I'm upgrading to the iPhone 14 Pro Max, that is a mouthful, is that A16 Bionic chip. Again, I like to do a lot of editing and work and multitasking on my phone. These phones are so powerful, so to have something like the A16 Bionic chip to power everything would be great. On this phone, it could be a real pain. Like this iPhone 11, using apps like CapCut or Splice to create my TikToks and Instagram Reels, this phone will freeze or crash, the app will close, and hopefully with that iPhone 14 Pro Max, we won't see that same effect. So for me, those are my main reasons to why I'm upgrading to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. One other reason I want to get the iPhone 14 Pro Max, but not a direct reason or not a concrete reason, the new notch design. I actually quite like it. It's something different, quite unique. I like how it's called, what do they call it, like the dynamic island. I think that's a pretty cool idea, and I like how you can separate between the two. When you get notifications, it like blurs into one bubble. I think it's quite a unique way of incorporating the notch, and again, just quite simple and nice design, just to demonstrate things like when you're getting your cab, when you've done a timer, when you've fixed your AirPods, quite a wide variety of use cases, and for me, that's a pretty cool feature. Upon looking at everything and comparing it to the iPhone 13, it is a great phone, but the only main difference you'll see is around the camera. The A15 Bionic chip is still a very good chipset and still very powerful for most, and probably still good enough for majority of people. What I'll do is, once I get them both, I'd like to do a comparison of side by side, just to see how much better this camera really is. Throughout the whole entire Apple event, you could tell there's a lot of emphasis about this new camera. We've got 4K at 24 frames per second. We've got cinematic mode heavily improved. You can now do it at 4K as well. We've got much better low light performance. What else we've got? We've got quite a fair few features just about that camera. So for me, to really summarize, to give you an answer, the reason why I'm getting the iPhone 14 Pro Max, the camera. That's really it. Not sure whether to get purple or black. I might get purple just for something different. Try something else. But again, once I have the phone in, expect a full-length video review, and I will do an unboxing and initial review. So if you want to see that, make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram to keep updated, and turn notifications on.